spend your gold and keys efficiently to recruit the best 9 folks in your castle in Castle Combo.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Castle Combo, game designed by Gregory Grant and Matteo Roussel, and published by Pandasaurus Games and Catch Up Games.
And hello everyone, it's Stella.
And Taryn from Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video, after watching, you really help us by like and subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. That seriously will help us to bring more videos. Okay, let's get to the classroom.
In Castle Combo, 2 to 5 players compete to spend money and keys to recruit characters from the castle and the village into their personal tableaus. The characters will either work together or against each other in helping the players to earn money, keys, and ultimately points. And at the end of 9 rounds, when each player has a 3x3 grid, it's the player with the highest scoring grid who will win the game. To set up, make supplies of gold and keys. Each player begins the game with 15 gold and 2 keys. Shuffle and place the 2 decks, the castle up above and the village down below, dealing 3 face-up cards into a row from each. Place the messenger next to the village row. Choose a first player and you're now ready to play. Castle Combo is played in turns, starting from the first player and going clockwise around the table until each player has taken 9 turns. A turn is resolved over 4 steps, which must be resolved in order. These steps are: spend a key, buy a card, apply the card's ability, and refresh. Spending a key is optional, the other 3 steps are mandatory. First is spend a key. You may spend at most 1 key to do one of the following 2 things. Either move the messenger from his current location to the other row, or discard the 3 cards from the messenger's row and replenish from the top of the deck. Next is buy a card. You must purchase one of the 3 cards from the messenger's current row. Pay the gold cost printed in the top left corner and take it, adding it to your personal tableau. Your first card is simply placed by itself. All subsequent cards must be placed orthogonally adjacent to at least one previous card. You must finish the game with a 3x3 grid, so cannot make a placement which would make this impossible. As such, in this case I have many options available on either side, but from this position my grid is locked, making these my only remaining valid spaces. Having placed the card, now immediately resolve its ability, which is printed between its picture and its scoring banner. In most cases, this will give you either gold or keys based on some sort of criterion. Cards always count themselves towards these criteria, so in this case you gain 1 gold per green shield and 1 per yellow, and thus this ability would grant me 1 gold. Placing the baker would give me 1 coin per yellow shield, so a total of 1 gold, and 1 key per brown card, so 2. I'll explain all of the other effects a little bit later in the video. After resolving the ability, the final step is to refresh, and there are 2 things to check. First, if the card you took has one of these triangles below its cost, and this would be grey on a brown card or brown on a grey card, then move the messenger to the other row, ready for the next player's turn. Finally, refill any empty spaces in the market from their appropriate decks and play passes to the next player clockwise. There is one other way you can take your turn, and you can do this on any turn, but you'll usually choose to do it only if you can't afford the cards available to you. To do this, choose any one of the face-up cards, place it face down in your grid following normal placement rules, and then immediately gain 6 coins and 2 keys. This is actually a pretty good immediate return, especially early in the game, but this card has no shields or scoring banner, making it quite a lot weaker at the end of the game. Even if this card did have one of these triangles, you do not move the messenger. So what do these cards do? We've already seen some basic effects for gaining coins or keys in combination with all of a certain shield or all of a certain banner that you already have in play. These cards usually also score points based on the number and placement of those same shields in your grid. So in the end result, this card would score 3 points for each orange shield in its row, a total of 9, while this would score 3 points for each blue shield in its row and column, a total of 6. Shields can score on multiple cards, so this card would score 4 points, and this one, scoring only itself, would score 3. Others score for pairs or combinations of icons regardless of placement. This is 4 points per pair of a blue and red, so that would be a total of 8 points. Some will trigger or score based on the total number of different shields you have. And do note, there are 6 types of shields and they're not distributed evenly. The noble icons are more weighted towards the castle, and the icons of the peasantry in the village. There are some cards which trigger off double shielded cards, and some which only score their points if you are missing a certain type of shield at game's end. Some cards trigger from your neighbour's grid. You would look at one of the players sitting next to you and gain money based on their purple shields. These cards will trigger coins based on how early or late in the game you play them. Cards like this score their endgame points only if that card occupies one of the indicated spaces in your 3x3 grid. This card earns you money and then eventually points for the number of zero-cost cards in your grid. And a card like this lets you discard a card from the display, in this case it's the village display, immediately gaining money equal to the discarded card's cost. This type of card provides you a discount on future cards of the indicated type. For example, a player with these 3 cards in their grid would pay 1 gold less for all future castle cards, and 3 gold less for all future village cards down to a minimum of 0. This applies solely to future purchases. A card does not discount itself. Finally, there are many cards, especially in the village deck, showing the purse icon in the scoring banner. Some cards score points for each of your purses. And some abilities on cards allow you to put coins onto cards with purses. Here I would get to place 2 coins onto each of my purse cards, up to a maximum of the number printed on the purse. These are not coins which you can take and spend, but they'll contribute to your end of game scoring. Then, once all players have 9 cards, the game is over, and you get another free opportunity to place as much of your leftover gold onto your purse cards as you want. Again, up to a maximum of the printed number per purse. Money that you can't stash in a purse does not score. Players now add up their final scores. Score the scoring banner on each of your cards, which will include 2 points per gold on a purse. Then add 1 point for each leftover key, and the player with the highest score wins. If tied, unpursed money breaks the tie, and if still tied, victory is shared. And that's how to play Castle Combo.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let us know what you think, and share this video if you enjoyed. And hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.